We got a huge storm coming down. And that's not good. That's not a good thing, chat. My sister lives in New Orleans. And so she's already left. She's already left. Louisiana governor says Hurricane Ida.
Allison, a new forecast from the National Hurricane Center just out.
There it is.
Yes,
Category
literally just
5.
in moments ago. So we've seen an increase of those wind gusts up to 185 miles per hour. Sustained winds at 150. This now makes it a high-end Category 4 storm. We are only 7 miles an hour off from being a Category 5. 157 miles per hour is that Category 5 threshold. Hurricane hunters, not one but 2 different missions, are out investigating this storm, taking as many measurements as they can before this storm makes landfall. Now, as of this point, landfall is expected to be around noon local time or 1 p.m. Eastern time today in Louisiana. It is expected to strengthen further. They're actually calling for landfall to be at 155 miles per hour. Again, doing the math, that would be 2 miles an hour off from a Category 5 storm. From there, it starts to slow its forward speed and it will start to weaken as well. The concern is when it slows, that also means it has more time to dump a tremendous amount of rain. You're starting to see those outer bands already begin to push in some very heavy rain across areas of New Orleans, especially the northern suburbs. We have a tornado watch valid until 8 p.m. tonight, not just for New Orleans, but Biloxi, Mobile, several other cities around the area. And again, that goes through the evening. Storm surge is going to be the biggest concern with this threat, especially along the coast. Grand Isle, a total of 12 to 16 feet. The purple areas you see here, 8 to 12 feet. You already have some of these areas on the northern side that are up to 4 feet as of now, and those numbers will continue to climb. Wind speeds, again, you're talking in excess of 110 miles per hour. We've already had reports up around the 90 mile per hour range along the very extreme southern points of Louisiana. Those numbers are going to tick up. This is why, Manu, power outages are going to be a widespread concern, not just New Orleans, but a lot of the surrounding areas as well.
If you've ever been around winds greater than 50 miles an hour, you understand that 100-mile-an-hour wind, it will pick you up and throw you, man.
We're as ready as we can be. This is going to be a very serious test.
Carl Vandergeest, thank you for the tier 2.
Especially in coastal Louisiana and for our people. And it comes at a time that quite frankly, it presents some very challenging difficulties for us with the hospitals being so full of COVID patients. We've got about 250 patients now, and that's in addition to all the other patients who are in the hospitals as well. So this is going to be a big challenge for us. I can tell you, the people of Louisiana, we're as ready as we can be. This storm for our state, and it comes at a very difficult time as well.
Do you anticipate that Ida could strengthen into a Category 5 by the time it makes landfall?
It's possible. You know, the truth is, Jake, there's not much difference between a very high Category 4 storm and a Category 5 storm. The impacts are going to be tremendous regardless. The wind speeds are projected to be within a few miles per hour.
It was a landfall at Cat 3.
You mentioned a while ago.
Katrina was a landfall at Cat 3, chat. So, yeah. Now it's hitting the southern side. It's hitting right there in the little bay. So you have New Orleans is up here with Lake Pontchartrain. So it's not coming directly at New Orleans, but it's coming up from the south. And a lot of this land is at sea level or below sea level. So this 12-foot storm surge is going to crest deep into the heart of Louisiana. Not good, folks.
The storm surge now is projected to be up to 16 feet in certain areas. Rain totals could exceed 20 inches in certain areas. And so really the next 24, 36 hours are just going to be very, very critical for us here in
Ida, one of the strongest hurricanes to ever hit Louisiana. Oh my God. And it was a nothing, chat. It was a nothing after it hit Cuba. That's the thing where we're lucky. Cuba slowed down the track of Ida and weakened the storm, and then it hit the Gulf, and because of global warming, the Gulf, and it's August, you combine those two things, it's like a hurricane supercharger. And it went from like barely a hurricane to almost category 5 instantly.
In Louisiana, and we do hope that and believe that there's going to be some forward speed to the storm. So the worst thing that could happen is for it to just sit over us for a long period of time. We need to get the storm through. It'll start to weaken as soon as it makes landfall, but it's going to hit the shore of Louisiana so strong that it will probably still be right at hurricane speed as it goes into southwest Mississippi tomorrow morning.
It's 16 years to the day since Hurricane Katrina hit. Louisiana is still feeling the effects. A lot of people
16 to the years
in
to
your
the
state
day.
know, and I don't know how many of our viewers
Jesus
do.
Christ.
It wasn't just Hurricane Katrina that so devastated New Orleans. It was the failure of the levee system there. Are your levees ready? Have they been rebuilt? Can they withstand a Category 5 storm?
Yeah, well, all of our modeling shows us right now that the hurricane and storm risk reduction system that protects the greater New Orleans area, Orleans and Jefferson parishes for the most part, but also some others, it will withstand the storm surge. And there's been tremendous investment in this system since Hurricane Katrina. This will be the most severe test, if you will, of that system. But we believe that system is going to hold, the integrity of that system will be able to withstand the storm surge. And it's really the storm surge that drives evacuations in hurricane situations more than anything else. Where we're less confident is further south, where you have other protection systems that are not built to that same standard. And the most important thing was getting those people out, whether it's Lafourche Parish, Terrebonne Parish, lower lying areas of Jefferson Parish on the West Bank, for example. That's where we are most concerned about the impact of storm surge. And I can tell you those areas depopulated extremely well. And we had people evacuate from this storm who haven't evacuated in the past. So we're hopeful that enough people got out that we will avoid the very worst that this storm could offer in terms of storm surge related deaths.
I was in Louisiana during Katrina. It was a nightmare. Overnight, Baton Rouge became the most populated city in the state. Oh, yeah. Has there ever been a Category 6? No, Category 5 is the highest category of hurricane. They're considering adding another category called a hypercane because of global warming, but so here's the projected path of Ida, and if you go there, see, so it came in as a tropical storm, and because it hit Cuba, it remained a Category 1. It really lost a lot of energy because of the Isle of Cuba right here. And then when it was able to hit the Gulf, boom, you could see it went from a category, barely a hurricane, all the way to nearly Category 5. And that's a straight shot. It didn't linger. It didn't swing around. It didn't twist over the Gulf. It went straight across the Gulf. And just there, boom, Category 4. And this is such a strong Category 4 that it's basically considered to be a Category 5. And it's not going to get back to tropical storm until it crosses well into Mississippi. So, and then look, it's going to be up near Pennsylvania on Thursday. Typhoon Haiyan hit the Philippines as a super typhoon. The Isle of Hispaniola. Thank you. Biden needs to get on the Sharpie. Yeah. Nature really has a boner for New Orleans? No. It's going to be hitting the east. This is going to be happening to the United States over and over again. The Atlantic is cooler than the Gulf. So when hurricanes spin off of the Horn of Africa come across the ocean. Those that make it into the Gulf get supercharged. It's a shallow, warm bathtub. You know, if it was 50 miles to the west, it would have been a big problem. All the Waffle Houses are closed. Oh shit, that's how you know. That's how you know. U.S. airstrike kills 6 people. Yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about the Ginsu bomb. We'll talk about the Ginsu bomb soon if you want. Mike from PA versus Sharknado. No thanks. I've been in a hurricane before. If the Waffle House is closed, you know you're in deep shit. That's not even a joke. That's not even a joke. Waffle House. Let's see if I can get a video on this. Waffle House disaster. No. Oh, here it is.
I'm a Southern girl. I have been to many a Waffle House, but I had no idea a Waffle House index was even this unofficial metric. Can you just tell me why you think whether or not a Waffle House opens is a good indication of how a community rebounds after a storm?
You're exactly right. You know, if we are open quickly after the storm broke, that means that the community is coming back and folks are out, and we're getting back to that sense of normalcy. And I think that's why people have looked to us through the last few years about the Waffle House Index. We're very fortunate that former FEMA Administrator Craig Fugate actually came up with it when he was in Florida back in 2004. And since then, the eyes have been kind of on us to see our response. But we just try to get the restaurants open as quickly as possible after the storm because, like you said, we're normally open 24/7, so we want to be there for everybody right after the storm as well.
But what is it, Pat, about Waffle House? I mean, you're right. Of course, Craig Fugate said this was the indicator right after those 2004 hurricanes. What is it about Waffle House that is indicative of a community rebounding?
Oh, we're the place people come to throughout the year after football games, after driving in the middle of the night, getting up early in the morning. So people are relying on us to be there all the time. So I think after a storm, they're really looking to us to be there to help them out because they're used to us being there the rest of the year.
So, Chad, if you didn't know about this is a real thing called the Waffle House Index. The Waffle House Index is an informal metric named after Waffle House restaurant chain and was used by former Administrator Craig Fugate of Federal Emergency Management Agency to determine the effect of a storm and the likely scale of assistance required for disaster recovery. The index is based on the reputation of Waffle House for having good disaster preparedness and staying open during extreme weather or reopening quickly afterwards. If you get there and the Waffle House is closed, that's really bad. The index has 3 levels based on the extent of operations and the service at the restaurant following a storm. Green equals full menu. The restaurant has power and damage is limited or no damage at all. Yellow, limited menu, no power, or only power from a generator or food supplies may be low. And red, the restaurant is closed, indicating severe damage or severe flooding. The term was coined by FEMA Administrator Craig Fugate in May 2011 following the 2011 Joplin tornado, during which the 2 Waffle House restaurants in Joplin remained open. The measure is based, for staying open during extreme weather and for reopening quickly, albeit sometimes with a limited menu after very severe weather events such as tornadoes or hurricanes. For example, assembling and training Waffle House jump teams to facilitate fast reopening after disasters. This is our future, chat. They're going to have special ops groups within our disgusting American fast food chains in order to keep them open. Giant Squid Cookie, thank you for the tier 1. Where are you from? I'm a Green Beret. All right. Right this way, sir. Where are you from? Waffle House jumped team. Most of my family lives in Yuma, Louisiana, and have to leave the area. Still have some sheltering in place. Please send some hope and love their way. They have my thoughts. My sister just got the fuck out and went to Nashville. Waffle House is just willing to endanger its employees the most. You got it. You got it, A Subtle Hypnotic. Oh, you're getting paid $10 an hour at Waffle House chain. Well, you better show up in the Category 5 storm or you're fired. Waffle House, along with other chains such as Home Depot, Walmart, and Lowe's, which do a significant proportion of their business in the southern U.S., where there is a frequent risk of hurricanes, have good risk management and disaster preparedness. Because of this, and the fact that a cut-down menu is prepared for times when there is no power or limited supplies, the Waffle House Index rarely reaches the red level. The Waffle House Index sits alongside more formal measures of wind, rainfall, and other weather information, such as the Saffir-Simpson Hurricane Scale, which are used to indicate the intensity of a storm. Dan Stoneking, FEMA Director of External Affairs, wrote in a FEMA blog post, as Craig Fugate often says, the Waffle House test doesn't just tell us how quickly a business might rebound. It also tells us how the larger community is faring. The sooner restaurants, grocery, and corner stores or banks can reopen, the sooner local economies will start generate revenue again, signaling a stronger recovery for that community. The success of the private sector in preparing for and weathering disasters is essentially to a community's ability to recover in the long run. Wow, chat. That's a closed Waffle House. Incredible. Incredible. That's how you know shit is going down right there. Choosy Man, thank you for a tier 1. So what's the alternative having the cleanup crews and power company going to? Sometimes people just want to get some food after fixing shit. I think at this point, I know we were doing the cynical leftist thing. I think that Waffle House does actually have specialists because they like this reputation. They like every time there's a hurricane hitting America, everyone's talking about Waffle House. This is the best word about. So I think they do send in like specialists, and they are serious about that. Not to defend Waffle House too much. Louisiana is super fucked.
We had 4 hurricanes last year during COVID, but we had a small fraction of the number of people in our hospitals that we currently have. We have more people in the hospital today, 2,450 with COVID, than we had at any point before this current surge. And when Hurricane Laura hit last year, we only had about 300 in the hospitals. So evacuating hospitals is not going to be possible because there's nowhere to bring those patients to. There's no excess capacity anywhere else in the state or outside the state. And so we're really worried about prolonged power outages. We had 4 hurricanes last year.
All right, Chad. So we're going to keep an eye on Ida. We're going to keep an eye on it.
Here in Houston and in Louisiana as Hurricane Ida prepares for landfall. Tim, Tita, walk us through this really dangerous storm.
Incredibly dangerous, and we're going to have to watch this closely as the pressure continues to drop and our winds continue to pick up. This was the key takeaway from Ida, called rapid intensification, and that's basically what happened overnight yesterday and overnight and right now. So on our satellite radar picture here, you can see well-defined eye. That eye continued to clear out over the past couple of hours, and now as it nears land, we are expecting still landfall between about 12 to 1 near Grand Isle, if you're familiar, right along the coastline. But really, these hurricane force impacts are going to be all almost throughout the entire coastline of Louisiana. So you can see the hurricane warning, the watch that's in effect that almost extends through much of the state. So a Category 4 now. Of course, we're going to continue to monitor this closely. If these winds pick up to 157, we will have a Cat 5 on our hands. So a really powerful, massive hurricane making its way into the Louisiana coastline. Again, impacts here locally will be minimal, but really the entire coastline of Louisiana under a really serious threat.
Louisa? Yeah, so we have so I think Louisiana is probably in better position because of John Bel Edwards. I mean, the guy made this at he made this attack. Oh, wait, what? Wait, it's not there anymore? What happened? Wait a minute. They took the ad down. No way. They took the ad down. Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. I was gonna... come on, man. I wanted to show you the ad. Son of a bitch. I wanted to show you it, but they took it down. Could someone find... I don't think you could find it. Just got here. Is the title accurate? How do we get so fortunate? That's the rumor. That's the rumor. We're going to get into it in a second here. We've only been live for 30 minutes, so... 50-mile-an-hour winds. LA Democrat for governor David Vitter chose prostitutes over patriots. This is one of the funniest ads. God damn it. God damn it. I love showing you guys ads that are funny, that I remember. Come on, man. No, not Robert Kraft. Come on, man. Son of a bitch. See, you can't trust these guys to keep it.
The choice for governor couldn't be more clear. John Bel Edwards, who answered our country's call and served as a ranger in the 82nd Airborne Division. Or David Vitter, who answered a prostitute's call minutes after he skipped a vote honoring 28 soldiers who gave their lives in defense of our freedom. David Vitter chose prostitutes over patriots. Now, the choice is yours.
Prostitutes over patriots, which was one of the most legendary ads of all time, resulted in John Bel Edwards winning as a Democrat the governor election in Louisiana. So anybody, again, we could watch this one more time because it's just so good.
The choice for governor couldn't be more clear.
That's how
John
you win,
Bel
baby.
Edwards, who
That's how you
answered
win,
our country's
okay?
call and served as
Headline
a
has
ranger
typo?
in the
Oh, shit.
82nd Airborne Division.
Oh, thank you.
Or David Vitter,
Thank you for
who
pointing that out.
answered
I'm
a
such boomer.
prostitute's call minutes after he skipped a vote honoring 28 soldiers who gave their lives in defense of our freedom. David Vitter chose prostitutes over patriots. Now, the choice is yours.
You know what a shit lib... When a shit lib makes a good ad, I'm gonna fucking praise it. I don't know what to tell you. You know? The Americans love their 82nd Airborne. What are you gonna do? Fight against it? He's been keeping so much of the hog shit at bay, honestly. We've had crazy voter suppression and CRT legislation pass through the houses here, just like Texas. He strikes them down a lot. I actually don't mind him. Well, no shit. He's trying to be governor of Louisiana. You guys got very lucky. When your choice is between shit lib and horrific fascist, you take the shit lib every time. Like, what? It's not even a choice. It's not even a question. Not answering that call would have saved those 28 soldiers, Mike. Yeah. The only thing I don't like about this is because I believe sex work is real work, and these prostitutes should not have their name dragged through the mud with their association with David Vitter. They're just trying to make a living. And